Hidden room of Thomas Jefferson's mansion solves 200-year-old mystery. It was his property in Virginia that hid the mystery which was still to be unearthed. Nobody, not even the countless tourists who visited the site several times, suspected a secret space full of mysteries. It was until the archaeologists' excavation their jaws dropped when they found the 200-years-old bizarre truth. Thomas Jefferson is frequently praised as a morally upright individual who helped establish the foundation for American democracy. He served as the third President of the United States and was the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. His home in Virginia is an extremely popular tourist site, and there are memorials dedicated to him throughout the capital city. Construction workers while performing maintenance discovered a hidden room full of secrets. The room itself was one thing, but its unusual placement in the house aroused some questions. The discovery sparked a controversy that has been raging over the president's legacy for more than 200 years. During his tenure as president, he played a major role in the formation of the American government. By acquiring Louisiana in 1803, he doubled the size of the country. He made significant contributions to the Declaration of Independence before becoming president. But like many great leaders, Jefferson also had other aspects of his life that are still a mystery. Thomas Jefferson lived at his Monticello farm in Charlottesville, Virginia, before relocating to the White House in 1801. A well-known historical place that receives thousands of visitors yearly. In 1776, it took a lot of labor to manage the 5,000 acres he had inherited from his father. He built the Monticello farm, often known as Little Mountain in Italian. Like other major plantation owners, Jefferson owned a number of servants, but there was one who is said to have captivated his attention. These tales contributed to how scandalous the finding of the hidden room was. Over the years, the Monticello plantation has undergone numerous restorations, with work speeding up in the 20th century. When it was converted into a museum, the mystery room was hidden from sight even when a modern bathroom was installed over it in 1941. Due to the significant increase in visits to the museum in the 1960s, the bathroom underwent yet another renovation. But once more, the new construction did not make the long-hidden room visible. What ultimately gave archaeologists a clue was that there was more than meets the eye. Jefferson's grandson's diary provided the first hint that eventually led to the location of the hidden room. A document written by one of his grandsons was found by the historians who were trying to figure out the original design. In the document that they found, Jefferson's grandson described a room that didn't fit in with the known layout of the plantation. The room, according to the paper, was on the south wing of the former plantation home. Since there had already been a restroom addition, archaeologists weren't entirely certain that the information was accurate. Also, Jefferson's grandson was known for being unreliable. Though what if it turned out to be true? In 2017, archaeologists carried out excavations as part of the plantation's restoration plans. They found something that supported the rumors that had been going on for centuries. It was astonishing because it was located behind the bathroom, a space that had undergone numerous renovations. When they were demolishing the men's restroom, they came across a little room that had been closed off for centuries. The structure measured 15 feet by 13 feet and included a sizable brick oven in the center. The absence of a window in the chamber led historians to ponder its purpose and its closeness to Thomas Jefferson's private room. Rewinding the clock 200 years to the time of Jefferson, James T. Callender was a political journalist who worked for a Richmond newspaper. He authored an explosive article on Jefferson with the intention of slandering his reputation. The main allegation in the report suggested that Jefferson had a relationship with a woman after his wife passed away. That's not a terrible allegation, but things got heated when Callender went on to say that Jefferson had begun an affair with a servant girl who had grown up on the property. Callender referred to the woman as Jefferson's concubine and mentioned the deceased children of Jefferson, but did not list himself as the father of the children in the public record in an attempt to keep his indiscretions hush-hush. Was there a chance that Jefferson's servant gave birth there, in a room with no windows, away from the rest of the world? Historians believe this is a distinct possibility. If so, who is this mysterious woman? Others who were Jefferson's contemporaries gossiped about his private matters, including the second President of the United States, John Adams. In a letter he wrote to his sons in 1794, 8 years before the editorial calendar was published, Adams appears to be referring to Jefferson's relationship with a servant girl. However, because the references are veiled in Roman myths, historians can't be sure. But one line, in particular, has drawn attention as a potential allusion to the Jefferson controversy. When considering reasons, Jefferson might have resigned from his position as Secretary of State. According to Adams, Jefferson might have been called from the familiar society of Egeria at a time when the term familiar implied intimacy, and Egeria was a Roman mythological nymph whose tale involved her meeting a monarch in a secret grove. The servant is believed to be Jefferson's concubine, as Calendar described her. The half-sister of Jefferson's wife, Martha Jefferson Thomas, was 16-year-old Sally Hemings. Hemings' life was mostly veiled in mystery for more than 200 years. It wasn't until recently that historians took a closer look at the life of the woman who resided on the Virginia estate of Thomas Jefferson. Despite her connection to the First Lady, Hemings was dealt a different hand in life. In comparison to Mrs. Jefferson, she was half African American and half white. She was hired as a laborer for the Jefferson household because she was brought to the farm at a very young age. In 1826, historians unearthed a hidden discovery in the mystery room of the Jefferson house that was only a rumor during the Revolutionary period. At 14, Thomas Jefferson was accompanied to France by a young lady who was barely a teenager. Thomas Jefferson served as the U.S. ambassador to France. It was forbidden to keep servants while residing in France, which was regarded as a free nation. When Sally Hemings and Jefferson Hemings started dating, Sally was only 16 and Jefferson was well into his 40s. Whether Sally entered the relationship voluntarily or not is still up for question, but it is undeniable that Sally became pregnant, traveled back to the United States with Jefferson, and continued to reside on the property at Monticello. Hemings went on to produce 4 additional kids, 4 of whom were allegedly fathered by Jefferson. According to historians, she gave birth to them in the recently found hidden room. Sally Hemings returning to the United States with Jefferson does not necessarily mean she was complicit in their relationship. The 25-year age gap between them also had an impact on how they interacted with one another. Although the letters from John Adams are illuminating, it was Jefferson himself who provided the strongest piece of proof that Jefferson had an intimate relationship with Sally Hemings. Jefferson owned over 500 servants on his plantation, and of all those servants, he only ever granted freedom to a handful of them. That small handful included Sally Hemings and her children. When the room at Monticello Plantation was uncovered, it was discovered that Hemings had 5 children. Assuming that Jefferson and Hemings had some form of contact between them while at the estate, historians started to argue that Jefferson could very feasibly be the father of all of Hemings's children. It is unclear if she could leave or want to stay with Jefferson. Some of her children had already left by that time. Thanks to current technology, there are now some solutions to the long-standing doubts surrounding Thomas Jefferson's alleged relationship. Scientists analyzed the DNA of an Eston Hemings ancestor in 1998 to see if they were linked to Thomas Jefferson. The DNA tests finally gave some solid evidence. Eston Heming was indeed related to Thomas Jefferson. Without more evidence, it is impossible to confirm, but it is highly predictable that Jefferson in fact fathered all of Hemings' children. The Thomas Jefferson Foundation was unmoved by the DNA results and provided a completely other explanation as to why Jefferson's DNA was present in Hemings' ancestry. The organization established a research committee with a group of 9 individuals, including 4 PhDs, to support its claims. After extensively reviewing the documents, the foundation put forth its theory. They claimed that Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings hardly knew each other at all and that he did not father her children. In a twist worthy of Jerry Springer, the foundation claims that it was Randolph Jefferson, brother of Thomas Jefferson, who fathered the children of Sally Hemings.